Namaskar, welcome to PK's classes. Today we are going to study about data, types of data. What are the different types of data? So, data is nothing but the raw facts or figures or the numbers. Once it is analyzed and interpreted, it becomes information. So, data is raw. Once it becomes information, it becomes useful. And this data can be of four types: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Nominal data, ordinal data, interval data, and ratio data. Data can again be of two types: quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative is numerical data. Qualitative is the descriptive data. Nominal and ordinal data are qualitative, whereas interval and ratio data are quantitative. So let us discuss one by one. Nominal data, these are the data that represents categories. Categories are nothing but the names or labels, so we can also call it as categorical data. There is no intrinsic order or ranking, so we cannot perform any mathematical operation on this data. For example, sex or gender, that is male or female. Suppose say eye color, blue, green, brown. Suppose three eye color are there. Suppose there is data on type of pet. Some have dogs, some have cats, some have birds. So in this case, there is no intrinsic order or ranking possible. No mathematical operations can be performed. So this type of data is called nominal data or categorical data. The second type of data is ordinal data. And this ordinal data, we can rank them, we can order them. Okay. So the data that represents categories with a meaningful order or ranking. Without order or ranking, that is nominal. With order or ranking, that is ordinal. But the difference between values are not equal or defined. For example, suppose in a survey, we collect the data about satisfaction level and we score them. Very dissatisfied 1, dissatisfied 2, neutral 3, satisfied 4, and very satisfied 5. In this way we have scored. But the difference between satisfied and very satisfied is not equal to the difference between neutral and satisfied. So we have given one rank or order, but the difference in values, consecutive ranks, the difference is not same. We cannot say the difference between satisfied and very satisfied is same as difference between neutral and satisfied. So these type of data are called as ordinal data. Let us take one more example. Suppose we collect data on education level. It may be high school, it may be bachelor's, it may be master's, it may be PhD. But the difference between high school and bachelor's is not same as that of the difference between bachelor's and master's, or the difference between masters and PhD. They are not same. So this is the definition. Data that represents categories with a meaningful order or ranking. Meaningful order is given, ranking is given, score is given, but the difference between values are not equal or defined. That type of data is called ordinal data. Then let us come to the third type of data, interval data. So here The data where the difference between the values is meaningful and consistent. So in that case we call it as interval data. That means the difference between this ordinal and interval is, in ordinal we cannot say that the difference between values are equal, but here we can say the difference between values are equal. Okay, suppose there is data 20 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius. So the difference between 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius is 10 degrees Celsius, and same 30 to 40 there will be 10 degrees Celsius difference. Okay, so we can say that the difference between values is meaningful and consistent, but there is no true 0 point. So suppose in a data there is 0 also, 0 degree Celsius. So 0 degree Celsius does not mean that the temperature, there is no temperature. There is a temperature, and that temperature is 0 degree Celsius. Suppose in one day there is temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, in another day there is temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, in another day there is temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. So 0 degrees Celsius is also a temperature. We cannot say that there is no temperature. Okay, so this type of data is called interval data, numeric but no true 0. No true 0 means 0 does not represent absence of the property. Suppose we take this example, temperature. Temperature is a type of interval data. So when temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, that is also a data. You cannot say that there is no temperature or there is absence of temperature. Okay. So in this type of interval data, addition and subtraction can be done, but we cannot do the multiplication or division. No multiplication or division. Only addition and subtraction can be done. So if the data is numeric but no true 0, second, no multiplication or division, then it is interval data. So the fourth type of data is the ratio data. Data where both intervals between values are consistent and there is a true 0 point that represents the absence of the measured value. So data where both the intervals between values and ratio are consistent, both intervals and ratio, the difference as well as ratio are consistent, and there is a true 0 point. That means if a data is 0, that means there is absolute absence of that property. Say suppose example height. So height 0 means there is no height. Say income 0 means there is no income. Okay. Time 0 means no time taken or not used. Age 0 means 0. So true 0 has a true 0. So that type of data we call as ratio data. And how it differs from the interval data? The ratio data, we can perform all the mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Addition, subtraction we can use in interval data, whereas in ratio data we can also use multiplication and division. So data where both the intervals between the values and ratio are consistent and there is a true 0 point that represents the absence of the measured variable. So this is all about the types of data. Thank you.